After nearly a decade, the beloved HBO series Game of Thrones came to an end last night. Leading up to the finale, more than 1 million disappointed viewers petitioned for the final season to be remade altogether. CBS News correspondent and CBSN anchor Vladimir Duthiers is here with the stress of pulling off the perfect ending. Vlad, good morning.
Good morning. First of all, a promise. If you haven't seen last night's finale, there will be no spoilers here. But predictably, the reviews are mixed. One critic called the episode a disaster. Another called it a satisfying end. Proof that even the most acclaimed series struggle to get finales right. Finalizing the rightful claim to the Iron Throne marks a pop culture milestone.
I've got to get out of this madhouse!
Joining iconic series finales from Newhart
You're all crazy!
to Breaking Bad.
I'm sure glad we went through it together.
An historic 105 million people tuned in when the sitcom MASH called it quits.
Yes, Penny.
Oh, do we have to go?
Big Bang Theory executive producer Steve Holland co-wrote last week's series finale.
We knew there was a lot of pressure from fans, but honestly, a lot of that pressure came from ourselves, too, and really wanting to get this right.
Because getting it wrong can taint a show's legacy.
I think it's gonna be okay.
When Seinfeld ended after 9 seasons, fans were largely disappointed when the central characters wound up in jail.
That's not so bad.
And that was before the age of social media.
If you read the internet, you will read the worst thing that you've ever thought in your darkest, deepest moment that anyone would ever say about you.
The Sopranos finale cut to black, seemingly mid-scene. But like many finales, it generated plenty of conversation.
It creates an excitement for people to gather around the next day and talk about it and praise it and criticize it, and that becomes this sort of communal part of the show. I think that is as much a part of the show as what ends up, on television.
As reactions to the last night's ending amass on the internet, Game of Thrones writers are trying to stay away from the social media fray.
Their own mental health.
Yeah, exactly. In one interview, writer David Beinoff said of the finale, "I plan to be very drunk and very far from the internet."
Probably a wise strategy.
You said you liked it. You told us earlier you actually liked it.
I just think that
I'm hearing mixed reviews online, so I don't know.
The season, which a lot of fans felt rushed over the last couple of seasons, this was probably the most satisfying ending you could hope for. It could have been better. As a huge fan of the Game of Thrones, I read all the books. It could have been better, but still
one of the best finales I saw was 6 Feet Under back in the day. I thought that was great.
MASH and Mad Men are my two favorites.
Well, they still debate about The Sopranos, which I didn't particularly care for. And when David Chase was here and I asked him, I don't know about that finale. He goes, well, how would you have ended it? Well,
what'd you come up with?
Nothing, sir.
What we think about these endings changes over time. So we may end up liking it.
Some age better.
A lot of people do like the Seinfeld ending now.
Thank you very much, Vlad. Always good to see you.